No, this is the boss right here, right? Darkseid comes in, immediately takes an L. Like literally, like they just chopped them in half and sent them back. Like, fam, try again next week. Like what the fuck is this March? If this was March Madness, he would be out of the tournament.
Oh yeah, listen.
Dude, let's just jump into our shit here, man. Let's get into it, dude. Look, in life, sometimes, right? When you're young, sometimes you can get you can get a little ahead of yourself, right? Because sometimes you may really like want something to be great. I need it to be great, right? But when you get older,
I have no idea where you're going with this, by the way.
Fair enough. You'll see soon, very very shortly, my friend. When you get old, though, what you really learn, the lesson that will make your life just so much more peaceful than what it is, or I guess what it would be, is low expectations. The key to life is low expectations. Look, instead of naming this Snyder Cut, Justice League Snyder Cut, whatever the fuck they named it, they should have named it Justice League. The key to life is low expectations. That's what this should have been titled as. Because
that's terrible, by the way.
No, perfect, fitting title for this movie.
Little kids are watching this podcast, think to themselves like, great. So I should set low expectations for myself.
Absolutely.
That's what Tunde taught me. Kids are like, well, I was going to go to med school, but Tunde said I should just fucking deliver pizzas on DoorDash.
What I am saying is,
no disrespect to anybody who's a delivery driver for DoorDash. Hey, shout out to my Thank you so much.
DoorDash people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I'm not necessarily saying that you should absolutely set like low expectations of yourself. What I'm saying is, if you're really excited about something, right? Like think of all the times that you've had like a really great time. Like how many times in your life, and I'm sure it's happened a few times, but the amount of times when you've absolutely looked forward to something and you got that thing and you're like, it was okay. Compared to the amount of times where you weren't expecting something to be great and then it fucking shocked you and you're like, oh my God, this thing's fucking great. This thing I wasn't expecting to be good at all. Right.
Damn, you know what? That happened this past weekend, actually.
What happened? Tell me.
So I went to this spot in Philadelphia called Strange Loves, which is actually a great spot. I'm not going to lie. The food was great. The location was great. I'll keep that. The food was great. The location was great. The drinks were great. Our server was phenomenal. The location, stellar, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Right. So the only issue was so I ordered, I believe like French toast and scrambled eggs or whatever, right? I was hyped for this shit because I haven't had French toast in a while. I get the food, presentation's incredible. They got the powdered sugar on it. Everything looks amazing. I take that first bite and the French toast was like lukewarm and I wanted it to be hot, right? So I took that first bite and I'm like, fuck, like I was so hyped for this and it really did not meet expectations. I was at a 10. Yeah. The food was at like a 7.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean, actually.
Key to life, low expectations. Look, I'm not saying you should set low expectations for yourself, but for the things you anticipate, perhaps temper them a bit so that when you get them, you're not met with that lukewarm French toast in your mouth.
Yeah. And you know what? No. If you're going to listen and take Tunde's advice, take it all the way. Set low expectations for yourself, your children, your marriage. Be like, this isn't going to work. She doesn't fucking love me. Fuck it. No. I'm never going to buy that house. My credit score is low.
No, absolutely not. You know why? Because that then might lead you to do some crazy things. If you think she doesn't love you, then you might just cheat on her and be like, all right, she doesn't love me anyways. Meanwhile, she did love you. So no.
And you'll end up looking like who's that guy on who's trending on Twitter right now? Derek Jackson.
Yeah. All right, but we have no time to waste on his clown ass. All right. Look, let's get to this really quick. Justice League. Okay. I've come on here so many fucking times, sliding the fuck out of the fact that they were doing this so-called Snyder Cut, right? And saying it's going to be terrible. Look, a fella can admit when he's wrong. I wasn't wrong that I thought it was going to be terrible, but what I was wrong about, I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would.
Of course you didn't.
I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. Look, And it leads me to admit something. And I'm not going to admit that I was wrong. That I will not admit. I will not admit that. But
of course you won't.
What I will admit is that I really just don't like the way that Zack Snyder tells stories. I think I just have to live with it. I think that instead of going back and forth about are these things good that Zack Snyder puts out? Are these movies good? Was Batman vs Superman good? Was Man of Steel good? Was Justice League, the Snyder Cut good? Instead of going back and forth about all that, I just need to admit that I just fucking hate his movies, dude. I don't know what else to say. Man of Steel, I can kind of stand, but I was really disappointed by that. Batman vs Superman to me was borderline unwatchable until I went back and I actually watched it. I'm like, all right, it's watchable. It's just the parts of it that are bad are really fucking bad. So much to the point where it might make it unwatchable, at times. Justice League, surprisingly decent. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but the key problems that I've always had with Batman vs Superman versus Man of Steel, they just popped their ugly little fucking heads up in Justice League. But before I go on my tirade, my rant, let me hear, what the fuck did you think of Justice League, Snyder Cut, Justice League, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be titled as?
Yeah, so in my opinion, Zack Snyder's Justice League was far better than the original. I feel like though this movie was 4 hours long, the key to life,
Rain, is low expectations. Remember that with what you just said.
So now I want to start by saying that, I actually did it like the first film. I mean, there were a lot of glaring issues with it, but for the most part, I liked it. I didn't think it was a terrible film. So my expectations, like, again, I'm just going to use this 1 to 10 scale. If I were to rate the first one, I would give it like a 7.5, 8, maybe. Right?
Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. Did you? Hold on. I gotta go.
This is the categorical rating. This is the categorical rating.
I gotta go to our full screen. Hold on. Let me see if I can understand. You said the first Justice League, not this iteration of it. The first one, you would give a 7 or an 8 out of 10.
So I'm looking.
Are you smoking crack? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Listen. Let me explain. Let me elaborate. So based on like this category and this genre of film, right? Based off of these like superhero films, these like theatrical Marvel DC films, right?
That's not an excuse.
So I'm not gonna rate this film against Inception or Tenet or Gone with the Wind.
How about against other superhero movies? How about that? Just against
other superhero movies, I'd still give this movie like a 7.5, 8. I think that's fair.
Look, to each his own. You're right. Yeah. I'm trying to get into more of the habit of like, look, your opinion is your opinion. I think that's ludicrous, but your opinion is your opinion, man. I'll
probably lean more towards 7.5. Right. So
sure.
in terms of where I would rate like this Zack Snyder version, I would have to give this one like an 8.5. So jump to full point. I think just because of
that didn't even.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Listen, the other one, I'm gonna give 7.5. This one jumped a full point to an 8.5. So it's pretty high up there. I think this one did a much better job at telling the story, specifically Steppenwolf's story. The first film kind of gave no backstory. He was just like a minion or soldier of Darkseid. He came to Earth to fuck shit up. Right. This film actually gave backstory and built character around him, and him being the primary villain of the film. I thought that was very important. It also gave a bit more context and texture to is it Cyborg? Is that his name?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Cyborg. I forget his fucking name. So it also gave a bit more like texture and context and backstory for him as well, and position him as more of like kind of like the glue that held this team of people together, right?
Yeah.
Again, a lot of the characters' backstories it built up. I think like the artwork, Steppenwolf looked much different in this film than he did. I have to correct
you
what?
Because it's me, but Steppenwolf. It's not Stephen Curry. It's not Stephen Curry as a wolf.
Steppenwolf, whatever the fuck.
Can he shoot threes?
Exactly. Can he play?
How's his 3-point efficiency?
So again, I think the backstories were great. I think the artwork that changed up a little bit was great. The Superman in the black suit was great. And I do like how they expanded the DC universe, right? They brought in the Martian, who I'm sure we're going to see again in future films. The ending of the film was, I liked how they told a different story there. They brought in the Joker. It felt like you were in a bigger room. There's more story to be told. There's more space. I think theatrically it was just visually more entertaining. So I gave it an 8.5.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So since you're done, what I'm going to do is, I'm trying to get more into the habit of being constructive with my critiques of things versus just saying, I hated it. Being a little more constructive, right? The way that I'm going to try to achieve that here, whether you agree with me or not, irrelevant, right? You get yourself some equipment and, get hop on YouTube and make your own YouTube channel if you, if you take issue with what I'm about to say. But I'm going to go through the things.
And sorry, disclaimer: kids, set low expectations for this hateful review. He's just going to shit on it.
That will apply to this situation. Please, don't think that this is going to be some sort of life-changing event where I'm going to change your opinion about Justice League for whatever it is. So yeah, you're right. Key to life is low expectations here. I'm going to go through the things I liked and the things I hated. The things that I liked, there were only two things that I really liked about the movie. The only things that I really liked about the movie were Cyborg's arc. I think you're absolutely right about that. He had a great arc that maybe great is taking it a bridge too far, but much better arc, or just an arc at all. He didn't really even have an arc in the first one. It was just, guys, I'm Cyborg. What's up? And then that was it. And then the only other thing that I really liked about the movie was the Flash's, and I couldn't even really tell you what I liked about it. It just, for whatever reason, worked with me when the Flash at the end, and again, spoiler alert, I guess if you need it. But when Flash, for a 4-year-old movie, if you need a spoiler alert for that, but, that when the Flash goes back in time, like, or he's like, oh man, I shouldn't do this, but fuck it, it was kind of stupid, but also it's kind of dope. I don't know. I got to admit, I liked it. I liked the way they shot it. I liked the way it all sort of flowed together. For the character involved, as well as the scenario, it just worked, because it had me like, oh shit, is this like, are we about to end this? Like, where they just, I do
hate the way they make him run though. I hate the way they make him run.
He looked kind of
funny?
Yeah, he looked kind of dumb.
Like, bro, didn't you run track in high school? Like, get your form together. Yeah, Tighten up.
He didn't need to. Hey, look, when you got the skills, you don't need to work on your form factor, right? Phil Rivers has been throwing stupid looking passes in the NFL for, God knows how long. He just retired off of a very wealthy NFL career. And so, okay, let's get to all the things that I hated about the movie. And I literally did not have enough time to list them all. Okay. But let's get to some of the major ones. The one that hit me like pretty much off bat was the weird fucking Amazonian music that they did, for Diana when it came time for her bank robber scene. Like, it was just like weird fucking hymns. It was just like, and it was just like, why? And if you compare it to like the original, it was like the original was some like standard fucking like music that they did, I think in all of like Wonder Woman. And it was kind of like the Amazonian theme, but in this, it was just like, it was fucking weird, dude. On that fucking note, I have a clip here that I lined up.
All right. While you pull that clip up, the weirdest one was the songs that they did for Aquaman.
Yo, bam, say no more, say less.
Yo, that I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh wait, fuck. I think
that one shorty she was ready though. She was, when she went and picked up his sweater, I'm like, God damn, put his shit back.
Hold on. Keep filibustering here. I have that clip. I just don't know what the fuck I did.
Yo, pull that clip. I remember watching that. I was like, it went on way longer than it should have. And I'm just like, yo, what's happening? And they didn't give any subtitles to like say what they were singing, but they had the lyrics and all. Who produced that track? That was I mean, granted, the song was dope. I think Pharrell produced that shit, but like, it was still kind of like, yo, what's going on here? And do they? I mean, didn't they live in a small fish town? Like, where did they get the studio from? Because you still got to pay for studio time.
Yeah. Oh fuck, dude. I thought I had it queued up. Maybe I'll circle back to it if we. Damn, dude. I think I might have deleted it real quick. Oh, you know what? I think I can still pull it up. Damn, dude. Because I really wanted to cue that up because it's so fucking weird, dude. It was so fucking weird. And and you're right, but there were so many fucking scenes within the movie that were just like, yo, fam, like we've been here for way too fucking long. But again, this points to the reason why it was 4 hours long. Like this could have been, I think I was watching Chris Stuckman's review of it. He said it best when he was like, yo, dude, this could have been maybe 3.5 hours if you stretch it. But there are so many fucking scenes in there where you could have just, nah, fam, like we can easily sort of blow through this shit. We don't need to spend as long as we did with it.
Listen, Zack Snyder was getting paid by the minute. Okay. He's like, listen, I need a lot more of them. The studio is going to cut the check. Dude.
Okay. So in order to, because I've got to find this clip, dude. I'm just not going to be satisfied with myself if we produce this whole thing.
And are you looking for the one of like the chicks singing when Aquaman is like going into the water?
I for whatever reason deleted it before I moved it over to where I knew.
Yeah, while you find that, I also think it's funny how he just like elected himself mayor of this small town and just does as he pleases. Yeah. You know, like he just walks into the bar wet, throws a guy on the table, goes to the bar, doesn't pay his drinks, doesn't have an ID. Like, bro, we still have like laws to follow. We can't serve you alcohol without an ID. The fuck? And then like he clearly just takes everyone's women because that woman who picked up his sweater who was singing the weird song, if you look closely at her finger, she was clearly married. And it's like, yeah, like this guy, he was really terrorizing this small town. Apparently he brings fish every now and then, but not even like no lobster, no shrimp, no scallops. And just like regular fish, no like sea bass. Like, come on, fam.
Dude, I think I'm gonna fucking hate myself, man. I'm trying to find the clip, dude, and I can't. I'll circle back to it. If we get time, I'll splice it in later. Síðan sá ég hann, sannlega fríður var hann, allt sem prýða má einn mann, mest af blíðum bar hann, ég trega manna mest. But let me get to the other shit that I really hated about the movie. So you have the weird ass Icelandic song, whatever the fuck they were, right? That was weird. Probably maybe my biggest issue with the entire thing. So you have this big bad, right? Oh my God. Like one of the major things of this film is it's like Darkseid's here. We're going to get to see Darkseid. He's like the biggest dude. He's like the Thanos of the DC world, right? Immediately takes an L. Like, I can't respect you after you take an L. Look, we can be friends. Like I can have your back and shit, but I can't respect you, bro. You came in and immediately took an L. Like he immediately got chopped in half. Like what? That
when they showed the war, when they showed like the war against, you know, the from back in the day, right? Yeah. He did take a major loss right there,
bro. I can't take you seriously if you literally show up. If you literally show up, dude, and you're supposed to be the big bad. I remember when Thanos came on the scene, dude. When at the beginning of Infinity War, yo, you knew he was a boss. He wasn't taking L. Like his first scene, pieced up the Hulk. Like the Hulk just caught it real quick off top, right? And the Hulk was supposed to be like, yo, he's like the world beater. Like nobody beats the Hulk, right? But they immediately establish what kind of dude you're dealing with. With Thanos,
one of the greatest openings in movie history too. Like, because I was like, yo, hi, yes.
You were like, oh shit is getting real serious right now, right? Like he's not just like a rookie at this. He's not like a little, like, you know, a little whatever that he's just gonna come in and take an L. No, this is the boss right here, right? Darkseid comes in immediately immediately takes an L. Like literally, like they just chopped them in half and sent them back. Like, fam, try again next week. Like what the fuck is this March? If this was March Madness, he would be out of the tournament.
Oh yeah, listen. He'd be out of a job too. Like, wasn't he the boss? Like, yo, listen, we're gonna IPO next week. We're moving to a board of directors format.
Yo, literally, like, dude, it was so bad. The L that he took, I was just like, yo, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, is this really Darkseid? Maybe that's not really him. Maybe it's like some fake dude that they just like, maybe this isn't the real Darkseid. No, it was him. He just came in, took an L. It's like, look, I can't respect you after that. All right. That was probably the biggest thing. These other things are kind of just like things I just was like, yo, this is kind of stupid. Martian Manhunter, that shit was whack. The fact that he was Martha Kent, all right, cool. The fact that he jumped in there at the end with Bruce Wayne, okay. Like, and he looked whack too. So I don't know if maybe they just ran out of money in the budget or what, but it was just like,
no, I thought he looked good.
No, look, as soon as he showed up, what I immediately remembered was how he looked in Smallville, with the Tom Welling show. He kind of looked like that. I was like, bro, like you guys could have kicked that budget up a little bit to have him look a little better. But his whole, like the whole role felt like it was just like thrown in there. It just wasn't, there was no like setup for it. There was no nothing for it. It's just the Martian Manhunter's here, it all felt very
best part about Martian Manhunter though, is the actor who's playing Martian Manhunter.
Who formerly was playing Martian Manhunter. He ain't playing it anymore. Trust me on that.
You don't think so?
No, we'll get to that in a sec.
Okay.
But the whole anti-life thing. Look. I understand it's an actual thing in the comics, right? But you gotta like you gotta root anything called the anti-life. You've got to root that as some sort of like reality that we can hold on to. Because if you don't, it just sounds stupid as fuck, right? When you just immediately start saying the anti-life matter equation. And now we're back into like the 90s of like, this is some rookie ass shit we're doing with these fucking superhero movies. It just sounds dumb as fuck. Like, all right, anti-life now? All right, cool. And then another thing I thought was kind of suspicious about it is like, I was like, yo, this story seems mad familiar when they started talking about the mother boxes and shit and how like it was just going to change Earth into like Apocalypse or whatever the fuck the planet was. I was like, yo, did we already run this play? I thought we already ran this with the Man of Steel. Isn't that what they were supposed to do with the Kryptonian ships? Where it was supposed to terraform the planet and make it the new Krypton?
Yeah, kind of.
What do you mean, kind of? That's exactly what the fuck happened.
I can't lie to you about that.
I was like, Zach, you've only had 3 movies and 2 of them have literally the same exact plot. But
they literally called, they called the same play. They called that Philly special. Yeah. Like, wait, didn't Nick Foles do that in the Super Bowl? We've already seen this, Zack Snyder. It's like.
He was like, what do you want me to do? It is what it is. Okay. And then the black suit for Superman. I mean, I understand that maybe in future movies they would have explained where it came from, but it really was just like for being such a big like thing where he was just like, yeah, the black suit. Why? What the fuck was it for? Like, was it it'd be different if they put in like a little scene, like, oh, it's like a nod to his like heritage. Maybe it's a nod to his father. Maybe his father used to wear the black suit or some shit like that. He's just like, nah, I just feel like going all black. I was like, is this Jay-Z? Is this fucking
the Black Album?
The Black Album? Or remember DOA where he's like, I might wear black for a year straight.
Yeah.
I don't know. You've had 4 hours. How did you not find time to like explain to us why he's making this style choice and why he's suddenly into fashion? And then last
that was from the Yeezy collection, I guess. Just black it out. That's it.
And last but not least, the epilogue was so fucking stupid. Like the whole end thing with him and Joker and shit, with Batman and Joker, that was so fucking dumb. Like their whole conversation was just like, guys, what's happening right now? Like I understand. Well, we'll talk about that in a sec, but like I understand like it's in reference to some shit that was going to happen in other sequels, but it felt so stupid. Like it just was like, and this goes to the heart of the reason why like I hate the Snyder's take on all of this. It's all just like dope ass moments that you might have like pulled from the comics, or like just might be dope things. Like if you just saw this one scene, right? Then it would be dope, right? But the problem is it's all, nothing's tied together. It's all just random shit that's just like, this looks dope, that looks dope, let's make them be dope together. But they're not like tied together with anything. It's just like the black suit. Okay, looks dope, but also has nothing to do with anything. Darkseid, dope looking dude, came down, got pieced up, and then expect for us to respect him for the rest of the movie? No. It's just Martian Manhunter. Okay, dope idea, but what does that have to do with anything? Nothing. Like all these like weird threads that don't have anything to do with anything but look dope.
I'll give you that. Like some of the movie did feel like it was like exciting moments or dope moments were pulled from like the comic book, the history of comic books. And then the movie was made in a way to like stitch all those moments together versus having, an idea from the end. And that idea is brought to life throughout the film. So exactly. I'll give you that.
Yeah. And he had 4 hours to tell, like, look, and this is the final point I'll make about the whole thing. He had 4 hours to tell this. Like they had 4 hours to do this, right? Like, did I think that necessarily was going to prove that, like immediately, it's going to automatically be a better movie? No. In fact, I thought it was going to be even worse because generally speaking, the longer you have to tell a story, and if you can't tell it in a succinct amount of time, that usually means you're just adding in a bunch of shit because you don't know how to write a story,
True.
But was it better than what I thought it was going to be? Absolutely. I can admit that. Right. But again, the key to life is low expectations. I didn't think it was going to be even remotely good. And so the fact that it was better than the first one, okay, but also the first one sucked, at least in my eyes. It wasn't a 7 or an 8, as you put it, at least not in my book. But the first one was just horrendous. So it didn't really take that much to get this one over the hill as far as being better than that one. And also you had 4 hours to tell the story. So all in all, it just made me realize why I genuinely hate the Snyder's take on this entire universe. I think I gave him a little bit of leeway with Man of Steel and said, okay, that's a warm up act. Let's see what you got after. Everything after that has been just thoroughly disappointing in terms of what ultimately has come from it. But alas, let's jump into a story now that is going to